And there we are.
We did undo Derek.
Hmm?
I don't know. D words.
Oh, don't,
Right.
Do it. Don't.
Damn. Burgundy burnouts.
Burgundy
burnouts on the point.
On point tonight.
$2 for just saying first. Yeah. Now we're back just doing a Q&A thing. So I think if this worked well for you, like a half hour where it's just Nick and I can talk to each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, and I wonder if this time is better for you. Sometimes we do it at night. I mean, it's an excuse for me to drink and not feel bad about drinking at noon.
Yeah. I mean, Wednesday nights there's usually nothing going on with me on a Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights are going to be bad for me in the future because this is the night that Dante moved his kickboxing class to. Oh. So we'd have to
Thursday
do it
nights
like Thursday. Yeah, do Thursday nights.
Yeah. Wednesdays and Thursdays are the best for me. Mondays and Tuesdays not so much. Yeah, because of open mics and whatnot. Okay. But
when's open mic?
Well, there's one on Monday nights and one on Tuesday nights. I don't always go to the Monday night one, but I like kind of having the option open. Because it's weird. Like I was in the newspaper.
Alex Landers, $1.99.
Thank
you. I mean, hello, Andrew. Thank you for $1.99. Oh, I want a late night delight. Yeah, that's a kind of vaporwave reference, but in itself is a reference to Mac Tonight.
Oh, you remember Mac Tonight? Oh man!
Like, hey, let's just have the store open longer.
Yeah. What he did like a weird cover of Mac the Knife, but about burgers. Of like, McDonald's has grade A beef and. It's just, I don't know. It was
your life is fucked up. You're eating burgers at 11 p.m.
Yeah. It's like, why, of all the things, I would just have loved to have been in the room of like, okay, our mascot should be someone who does music. Okay, well, let's get like someone who plays a piano and is kind of like a crooner. All right, yeah, but he shouldn't be a person because we want these to be animated in a way. You mean like animated? No, like claymation animated, stop motion animated, along those lines.
I want this just a touch grotesque, please.
Yeah. All right. So how about the mascot is a half crescent moon. Or it's just, and that's his head. And it's just, I don't know what people were smoking in the 90s.
Burgundy Burnouts. Thank you. Local man here showing off his 77 Firebird and wrecked it into a park pool. Front end totaled. Happy birthday, by the way, Nick.
Thank you so much.
Man, that's like Uncle Styles wrecking your 77 Firebird into a public pool. You know? Man, did he get it in the water? Because I hope.
Yeah.
But if he wrecked his front end, then no.
Comrade. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Comrade Beardsley, you ever going to get at a Dodge Power Wagon or an M37?
Yeah, probably. And if you mean Dodge Power Wagon, you mean the Magnum? That's got a huge following. And surprisingly, it's one of the few V8 station wagons you can buy. Carlo Cantignola. What do you guys think about a 03 to 04 Mustang Mach 1? Well, I know a guy who owns one. I mean, you own an 04 Mustang, but the Mach 1 is I think it's a 3-valve modular. He says, I wanted one for a long time. It would be great for my first car. Love you guys. Keep up the great work. I mean, it's still an SN95. I know Uncle Lutz, who's a guy. You notice how my voice went down?
Yeah.
No, he's like a functioning alcoholic that hangs out at Bruce Henn's garage. He's an HVAC guy, and he like messes up his like 04 Mach 1. I mean, you look at it, and it's your car with a hood scoop, and the interior, it's like, hey, it's leather, but whatever. And everything else is the same, switches, radio, everything else. So you get a 3-valve. I guess the Mach 1 got a hotter cam in it. My point is, like any Mustang from the mid 2000s, the modular motor is okay. It's is it an improvement over the Windsor? I guess.
Yeah.
But don't expect anything out of it, man. I mean, honestly, dude, I would get just a regular GT. The Mach 1 for the price you're going to, unless you're going with the SVT Cobra, there's no real reason to go for a Mach 1 on SN95. Just get the GT. You'll love it.
And before that the Clicker 01 asks, do you think a used PT Cruiser for like 300 to 500 ES is a good first car?
Let me make sure I scroll over here.
And also thank you,
Did I skip it?
JSB 225 for $5. Thank you.
Oh, is that a regular chat about the PT?
Yeah, that was a regular chat about the Cruiser. $300 to $500 use $300 to $500 ES, which I don't know the currency. For a used PT Cruiser. Don't know what year, but
they're all the same. They're all the same engines. Find out more about the owner. If the owner is a dirtbag, don't buy it. If the owner was like an old lady who took care of it, the car's probably fine.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the dick to work on, according to Bruce Hen's garage. According to Bruce Hen, who's gonna do a house call for me tomorrow with the Falcon.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to pay him, and he's gonna say no.
He needs to be on the podcast at some point. That man is a treasure trove of the stories he could tell.
Yeah,
probably.
He's soft spoken. He's a man of few words.
Yeah.
He's got less dialogue than No Country for Old Men.
Tremendous.
JB225, no question, but thanks for $5. IB Desi, Ibla Desi.
Yeah.
Thank you for who's on the $10 bill?
Yeah. Oh. Jags? No, they changed the $10 bill, or was it the 20 they changed?
Jackson's on the 20.
Oh,
I think he's still on the 20.
Yeah.
They were talking about changing Jackson off the 20 because of, banging banging slaves, pretty much.
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson.
No, well, didn't Jefferson do it too?
Thomas Jefferson. Oh, fuck yeah, Thomas Jefferson. Andrew Jackson.
Oh, it's Hamilton on the 10.
Okay, thank you.
Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. So I've never actually seen it.
Come to Lake Mary, Florida, North Orlando. I have 8 cars: a GTR, a 03 Mustang Cobra, Nemesis, STSV. What is a TBSS and more? Shit on all of them. I don't care. By the way, 03 is a Mach 1, is 4-valve. Oh, that's a 4-valve. Okay, that changes things. That's the good modular engine. I take back what I said about the Mach 1. If it's a 4-valve with the double cam, that means it's the good modular engine. Same basic design that's in the Marauder. So good times, great oldies, 99.9. Wait, that's classic rock. What's the oldies channel around here? I forget.
MMR.
WMMR? Is that Philly?
Yeah. I forget the number. It's like 39 or it's 93.7 or MMR.
Guys,
or
I am going to do another vaporwave video, and it's going to be interspersed with that slowed down and warped music that someone sent me from all the old 1980s music bumpers from the Weather Channel. And I think when we fly to Chicago, I'm going to take the GoPro and the suction cup and just hang out at MDT, Harrisburg Airport, and just stick it and just film the runway.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're flying out of MDT.
MDT.
Yeah.
That airport, we've never flown out of an airport that small before.
No.
Or on a plane that before. I think we're on a CRJ 900 or something.
Oh.
CRJ, okay, don't
Well,
because that's the plane that Tony Airlines flies.
Oh, all right. Well, then I mean, now I'm not worried because it's the safest way to travel. I just mean that was kind of
we're getting on the Sky Bus.
Yeah, basically.
It's going to be the smallest plane we've been on so far. Was that it was like a 7. It felt like a 727. I don't know, from Portland to LA.
Yeah,
that little 3-hour flight or something like that, or 2.5.
It was hardly that long. Yeah.
I think the airplane that we were on for the jumper, the 1-hour flight from Auckland to Wellington, and then Wellington back to Auckland in New Zealand. But that was 3 rows. That was 3 across.
Yeah, it was.
The one we're on is I think 1 down one side and 2 down the other side, or maybe it's just 2 and 2.
Well, no, because I vaguely remember seeing when you were booking the seats, and I thought it was 2 and 2.
Okay, maybe 2
it might have been.
two.
I'm not entirely sure though. But TBSS is Trailblazer SS.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you for $2.
Anyway, from North Orlando, we have an open invite from Tavares, Freddie Hernandez, who lives about 20 minutes outside of Orlando, to just come down.
Old O-Town.
And I think that would, we were talking about the Southwest, and we were talking about Phoenix, talking about everything, but just hanging out with Freddie. We haven't seen him in forever. Who is killing it, by the way, on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
He found out the Nexus, and man, it was like an open paycheck when he sent me what he makes on one video in 2 days.
Damn. I mean,
but he has what Freddie has done, the channel Tavares. What he's done is made a build show that's profitable, which no one's ever done before. People with like our Vagabond Falcon build show, no one cared. Matt Farah made one, no one cares. Like his DeLorean, no one cares.
Yeah.
There have been occasional TV show where they try to make drama and like, we're gonna build the car before the time runs out. No one cares.
No.
Freddie buys this Lamborghini Gallardo or something like that. It's got fire damage. It's a piece of shit, and consistent 200,000 views by the end of the first day.
Wow.
It's just bam, bam, everyone. He's like that episode of Seinfeld where George stops masturbating and suddenly he can hit home runs. Yeah. He can hit home runs. He's just popping them out of the park. So anyway, I think that would be a nice fuck you Pennsylvania winter. Like, I kind of want to leave on the first day of spring because it's the first day of spring and it isn't.
Yeah.
Like screw you, we're going to Florida. Just hang out in Orlando. I don't really want to go to Disney World.
I would feel like I was cheating on my family if I went to Disney World without them.
Okay.
Because they've been trying to like go back for years, but the problem is that the expense for all of us to go, like I'm talking me, my mom, my sister, my brother, my 2 nephews, my niece.
Holy shit.
Like, it's going to be like one of those episodes of those old Miller Boyette sitcoms on ABC.
Digging deep.
Where they were
deep.
Because Disney owns ABC, every one of those sitcoms had to have an episode where they go to Disney World.
Yeah.
Boy Meets World, Full House, Family Matters. They were usually 2-parters because they wanted to maximize that Disney World money.
Yeah.
And they somehow found an excuse to have all of these episodes happen around or near the same time, and yet the characters never cross over.
Right.
Because why the hell would they?
Right.
But
don't worry, I see your super chat, so we can scroll through it as long as I don't dad click too much.
I gotta take a picture of that Garrett Box question.
All right.
Because it's not a super, so it won't stick around.
JB225, thanks, man. Do you guys enjoy survival horror games like Resident Evil? I played Resident Evil and then got the cheat codes and got the Uzi with unlimited ammo and then just killed everybody. So that's like the first or the second one. No, it was Resident Evil 2. That's the one I played.
Yeah, that's the one everyone played, and that was the best one, and it's getting completely remade. They announced it at
you.
E3. Like, well, I mean, they're not changing anything about it. They're just updating the graphics. Like, it's gonna look nice.
Okay.
But
do you have any ghost stories or scary things that happened to you? When I was an undergrad at Kutztown, there was this girl on my floor who, building, Lehigh Hall, Kutztown University.
Yeah.
Who was into like being a medium. And she said she could feel the presence of ghosts. And we were walking through like the rugby field. I forget why we were on that end of campus. I think it was one of those things like we couldn't drink yet, so we weren't going downtown to go to Shorty's. So we God, that's something I kind of want to do.
What, go back to Shorty's?
Go back to Shorty's, and I'm like, I'm gonna be 37 this month.
Yeah.
But maybe if I wear an RCR shirt, I'll be cool. Like, it's like you going to Sharky's, me going to Shorty's.
Oh,
it's
God.
like,
Oh, I didn't even like draw the comparison that we went to like
we did.
Our bars were both SH names, and they were kind of those bars that would be extraordinarily weird to go back to.
Yeah.
As an adult.
I like Sharky's when we went there.
Sharky's is wonderful. You get $1.50 Lions heads.
My favorite part of Sharky's is like what happens when I go to Shorty's is what happened to you when you went to Sharky's. It's like you immediately revert back to underage drinking rules.
Yeah.
Like there was no one in the bar because when we rolled into State College, PA, it was during spring break.
Yeah.
But you still went up to the bar and bought 2 beers.
Yeah, because I was under the impression like, okay, well, then like, because we were there pretty early. I'm like, eventually people are going to start flooding in and it's going to be hard to get served. But I didn't think about, or I completely forgot they were on break. And so no one was going to come filing in. So I'm just there with like 2 beers like an asshole. Like,
you got like woodchuck ale or... Yeah. I remember it was like a can...
It was a woodchuck ale and a lion's head.
Nice.
And then I got like...
Nice.
I'm just standing there watching you, and I think his name was like Jason or something.
Oh, yeah.
Play pool.
Yeah.
I was just like, Well, and then I like went and laid down a quarter to indicate that I had next.
Yeah.
It's just one of those weird things that happen. And
I kind of want to go back to... I mean, it's middle of summer. It's not open.
Yeah, there's nothing that's...
I don't know. I'm drinking gin and tonics and you're drinking coffee. So he's drinking uppers. I'm drinking downers. But...
Yeah. I mean, because I'm going to be doing...
Well, you got to drive home. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not like I'm going to fall asleep or anything, but, it's, things.
So, anyway, to answer your question, JB225, ghost stories or anything scary that happened to you. So we're walking through the rugby field at Kutztown, and she's saying she can feel a ghost over there. Oh, sorry, I touched the mic. You can feel a ghost over there in the tree line and like in the bushes. So I was like pushing my bicycle. Because of the group with us, I'm the only one with a bicycle, and I'm not going to ride it, so I'm just kind of like pushing it by the handlebar. It says, oh yeah, the ghost is over there. It was like it's like an $80 to $100 Walmart bike, whatever.
Yeah.
I picked the bike up and just throw it into the bushes, and I said, is the ghost still there? And she said, you spooked it. I'm like, all right, I fish my bike out of the woods. Freaking Walmart bicycle.
I haven't had anything ghost related happen, but what did happen one time was I was researching something for a class in undergrad, and it was about one of the like a war that happened in like the 1800s. It wasn't the Civil War, it was like something else. But in the process, I came across old Civil War photos and came across a photo that looked kind of like me. And it was kind of weird to the sense of like, it looks like me to the extent that I'm kind of wondering, is this a distant relative of some kind? Or am I a time traveler also? Like, am I going to go back in time at some point so that this photo can be taken?
Yeah.
But that's pretty much as
am
close.
Am I going to go back in time?
Yeah, it's like, am I preordained now to go back in time so that this picture can be taken? It's written in stone. Must happen. But yeah. And as far as Resident Evil goes, like, I played Resident Evil 2, and when I beat it in its time, I left it in its time. Like, I never came back to it. Because I don't particularly... I've never cared for the controls.
Ryder, yes, we do talk about cars in these podcasts, but
we're getting to them.
We're getting... Because people will ask car questions and I answer them, but usually we're like bits of hair circling around the bathtub hole, which the word 1997 has been inscribed onto the porcelain. Kyle Solar, NZ, sweet as. What are your thoughts on the Humble Super Snipe? What on earth is that? My dad has both an S3, which was my granddad's, and an S4 junkyard. Both aren't roadworthy. I have no idea what that is, Kyle.
All right.
I'd like to. NZ. I think, I have this figure. I was talking to my mom. My mom is a financial consultant. And I talked to her like, look, there's this figure I want to get. She's retired, as people in their late 60s tend to be. There is a specific figure I want to get into my savings account, and once that happens, I'll start investing in like Exxon and stuff I have familiarity with. I'm not investing in Volkswagen. And honestly, I'd probably throw down like $20 to Matt Farah on one of his podcasts if he could answer the question, what car related stocks would you buy? Because it's one thing to have like the safety net account in your bank, like no matter what, I got this figure in here in case of hospital or whatever. But if it gets more than that, that money's not doing anything. It should be invested in a company that then grows itself. Like you start making money from your money.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good for like 3 years. Like say if YouTube just shuts down, I'm good for 3 years. I can figure something out. So any money I make in the meantime can be taken on taking trips, because if there's one thing, like since starting RCR, these 4 years, I'm in love with traveling. Yeah. Like I'm fucking excited that I'm going to Chicago and I'm getting on a plane. Yeah. And I wish I could have like that one episode of Peter Griffin, like the traveling music.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, this is the Humber Super Snipe.
It looks like a Studebaker.
It does.
It really looks like a Studebaker. Humble Super Snipe. Did NZ have a motor industry? You gotta go up to it or focus, you fuck.
This is what it looks like. I really hope like a pornographic text didn't show up while I was. Oh no, it didn't. Good.
Skiing crocodile, £5. You know, for a while in like during the 2000s crash during the second term of the Bush administration, there was this brief period where like rappers and P. Diddy.
Yeah.
We're
it's just like you excluded him from rappers. It's just there are rappers and P. Diddy.
Dude, he's a business unto himself.
Yeah.
We're like flashing euros because the dollar took a hit, and that was back when our credit rating went from AA to A or something like that. So they'd show up at clubs like throwing euros around. Yeah. Anyway, $5 euro. Says, Kyle Solder said it's a British car. That did not look like a British car.
No, it did not.
That looked way too American or Australian.
Yeah, it did look like during that Art Deco.
It was assertive.
Rocketeer
I don't know. Yeah.
Period. God, I love the Rocketeer.
It's a freaking underrated movie.
It really is. Joe Johnston.
Like that one line that just says, I may be a scoundrel or a beast, but I'm 100% American or something like that. And suddenly the cops and the mafia are like teaming up against Nazis.
Yeah, it's low-key a love letter to flight.
Yeah.
I wonder with the old planes. And
I wonder what Tony Airlines thinks of the Rocketeer.
Rocketeer is a fantastic movie, and I hope they never remake it. Although I'm 90% sure they are at some point.
Look, if they get the director for when they did Gatsby, if they get that director,
Baz Luhrmann, yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, because he'd do something weird and trippy about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like because the guy who did the Rocketeer, Joe Johnston, also did Captain America: The First Avenger, which was the first Captain America movie, and it felt like the Rocketeer too, because it was another period piece, like that era.
Skiing crocodile with the $5 euro. Bow, bow, bow. That is now on my workout mix.
What?
Big Pimpin'.
Oh.
I bought my NA Miata thanks to your videos. Thanks to your videos about it. I wish I could donate more because you two taught me basic everything I know about cars. Cheers. Well, if all I did was say get a Miata, I hope that was the right thing to do. Yeah. Hey man, look, they're great. I mean, people hate on them, but it's like hating on a Miata is like hating on an NES because you were a Sega family, or hating on Super Nintendo because you were a Sega family, or something like that. Like, it's freaking good.
Yeah. My arch, it's coming back as a TV show. That was
sorry, what?
Dr. Square. No, I got distracted for a second.
What were you saying?
No, the Rocketeer coming back as a TV show. the person posted there, which I don't know.
Netflix it.
I don't know how you extend that premise out, but apparently I guess it was a comic book too, and I guess they found enough juice in the premise to keep it going. But once you divorce it from, okay, Nazis on American soil,
yeah,
then you just end up with, I don't know.
Eric Z 269, nice. Yee brother. Is that a New Zealand thing? Well, that's American money. Yee brother. Wish I knew more about what that meant. But thank you, Eric Z. IB Desi, TBSS says Trailblazer SS.
Yeah,
we were talking about that before. Blade's name was taken, by the way. Blade's name was taken on the way. What does that mean?
No idea. M
Beats. I see you every time we're here. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Which director would have the best take on a Marvel movie or Batman? Coen. Oh, you're giving us a choice. Coen Brothers, P.T. Anderson, or Fincher? My vote is for Coen Brothers.
I would say Fincher. He's the Coen Brothers would get too existential about it. Like, I know, like with a Coen Brothers movie, their interest is not going to be in the superhero side of the person. It's going to be in the human side of the person.
Right. And
for the most part,
dude, Coen Brothers doing The Punisher.
Oh, that would be great.
Fuck, amazing.
Like, because that story opens itself up to different types of stories that you can tell. It could be a crime drama, it can be a revenge drama, it could be, just a straight up action movie, but they're not going to do it. They're going to do it in their style.
Yeah.
But with Fincher, he can still take an abstract premise and turn it into a fun, not fun because it'll be dark, but something that is readable to a casual audience. So I would love to see a Fincher Batman movie, like if he just did The Long Halloween. Well, actually, The Long Halloween's it's too busy to really adapt. But I think there's a lot that you can do, or that he could do with something like that. And he could even do a pretty good like Iron Man story about during Tony Stark's alcoholism. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, but that would be like during his alcoholism. That would be like a Iron Man without the suit.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm sure he'd still do a good job.
Well, that's where they were headed with it when back in the 90s when Tom Cruise was like in the running to be Iron Man. And now it's kind of inconceivable that Iron Man would be played by anyone else but Robert Downey Jr.
Great job.
There was a time where he was completely persona non grata in Hollywood because of his problems. He was into the nose candy. He was into the like drugs and hard stuff. And he got clean. He got sober. And this is why he defends Mel Gibson to the end of the earth, because Mel Gibson was the one who gave him a chance and told people like, hey, this guy is completely like, yes, he's made mistakes, but he's, sort of he's a changed man. Just trust me. Mel Gibson pretty much, back when he still had something to stake on it, he was staking his entire reputation on Robert Downey Jr. And Robert Downey Jr. came through, and he's like, been getting like,
he's making that Pirates of Caribbean money.
Yeah. Like the early Pirates of the Caribbean money. But yeah. So
none of your business. Thanks for $2, man. How can I get a signed RCR Boonie hat size XXL? I've been talking to Chris from Moto Loot, who supplies the hats. You can still buy them. They were a one size fits all, but as we know, not all heads are made equal. So yeah, I don't know, none of your business. I don't think they have a supplier that can make larger hats. I don't have a post office box where you could send me stuff. And you could buy like my advice to you is that if you want a boonie hat or bucket hat that looks like mine, none of your business, you need to go to a company called Outdoor Research. You can also find them at Cabela's and maybe at Bass Pro Shops. They do make a bucket hat. They make it in multiple sizes. I'm probably going to buy one for myself so I have an extra bucket hat. Because I'm kind of super protective now of my Gap bucket hat that's like vintage 1990 fucking 7, you know, or no, 98. I bought that hat in 98. It's got that badass patina on it. And I kind of want to have a different bucket hat that I don't mind if I lose. Anyway, I mean, maybe I can talk to Chris over at Motoloot if he can make patches. That's an idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like, as far as getting it signed, like, depending on where you are, and if we ever have a meet in where you are, come and get it signed. But yeah.
Alfonso Viches from the regular chat says, do you follow any motorsport? I read Steph Schrader's articles, but honestly, apart from like the big headlines, kind of not. Sports and me are just kind of well, if you count MMA, and even then I kind of know what I know from Nick. So
it's
I'm sports kind of not like. I know about football from being in the marching band, and I know how football works. So, but like motorsport, I mean, I could name like Michael Schumacher, and that's it. Nah, man, I don't follow motorsport.
To Jonathan Leprod, who asks, everyone wants to know which Mopar is best Mopar, but some of us don't know what Mopar is. I tried to Google, but it's kind of vague. I actually did a video for the channel about what exactly is Mopar and what constitutes Mopar. So if you type in like regular cars, what is Mopar, the video should come up. I mean, I'm not saying it's like necessarily a great video or anything, but I try
that's good.
Well, yeah, I try to like my best to condense and solve for people just exactly what it is that Mopar is. But yeah, it's, you know, just look it up. It's a few minutes.
One guy whose name is Vagabond said, I found your channel, and by pure coincidence my users like your Vagabond Falcon, and I shat my pants. It's a glorious title, only given to the best of fools. Thanks, man.
Nice.
Vagabond.
Vagabond.
IB Desi.
Oh,
no question, but thanks for $2. The MCV says, I'm about to sell all my cars in the next month. Will you be around in Cincinnati? No, sorry, man. Anytime soon by chance. Not sorry, man. I mean, there's a lot to do in Ohio. I mean that sincerely. There is a lot to do in Ohio. And I'd like to visit every single state before I die. I think that's a reasonable bucket list. Bucket challenge. But not as of this moment, man. I hope you get a great price for all the cars that you have.
Yeah.
IB Desi
Blades
says, I suck at Super Chat. I'll take you to Disney.
Yeah. That was from like a half hour ago.
I know. 8:54. Now it's 9:14. Hey, don't worry. We're if even if your Super Chat goes away, we're still working through it. George Renker says, can you roast the Ranger more? I have one. Well, we did one Ranger. I mean, I guess we could do a modern one. Truck people don't offer us trucks so much. There is a guy with a new Subaru Ascent, I think in the Lehigh Valley. No, I'm sorry. He's down near North Wales. So that would be either an oak shoot, or maybe he'd drive all the way up here. Anyway, that's Subaru's new super family car with like 3 rows of seats and everything like that. Or maybe I could talk to Kenneth Veit over at Steve Moyer Subaru, and maybe we could just shoot a person's car there. We haven't talked to him in a while. IB Desi says, can you get did you even get the Nemesis reference?
Oh, it's the Resident Evil reference, and a couple people in the chat mentioned that they got it, but that went over my head. Because, like I said, like when I beat the game, I left it there, and so like that was 21 years ago. And so if I haven't really thought about it in 21 years, it's kind of hard to really pick up on things about it.
Big Pappy says, any instances with police? 0.
And police and car modifications. So like cops getting on your tail about a mod.
Well, the only modified car that we have, or I'm sorry, it's mine. It's the Falcon. And no, the closest thing any police has interacted with the Falcon is when I was when I was doing 65 in a 35-mile-an-hour construction zone. Now, granted, the road was finished and both lanes of this 2-lane highway was open. So I'm just driving on it at a highway speed. This PA state trooper pulls up right next to me. I'm driving my Falcon, and he just leans out the window and does that. He goes, "Hey!" And him and his Taurus nails it. He just blows up the window. I'm like, all right. So W. Bush says, of course the rugby field is a safe place for underage people to drink. Yeah, man, at Kutztown University, even like Kutztown had a shirt for our rugby team.
They have a rugby team?
Yeah, KU has a rugby team.
Huh.
Men and women's.
Wow.
And the women's is the one to watch, apparently. I've honestly, all the years I went to Kutztown, I never watched it. Anyway, the shirt says our drinking team has a rugby problem. So.
Yeah. That the same shirt in State College of like our drinking town has a football problem.
The actual team Ryan says, yo, Mr. R and the Roman love Fudge Man. Fudge Man. Fudge Man. Fudge Man. Fudge Man. Fudge Man. It reminded me of H3H3 stuff. I'm trying to remember who that is.
Oh yeah, they're Ethan and Hila Klein. They're fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Like, I mean, they're
Did
cool
we
people.
meet them?
No, I wish. I think they live in LA now though, because apparently, like, eventually on a long enough timeline, everyone goes to.
Are they YouTubers?
Yeah. I have absolutely no ambition to live in LA, even though I actually really enjoy LA every time that we've gone, and I like it a little bit more each time we go.
Yeah,
but it's one of those places where I'm fine with a few days there and going back home and just, well, that, and because I'm kind of like a family body and I don't like being far away from them. So it's weird like that, but yeah.
I liked LA at night, like getting those Lyft rides back home.
Yeah. That one Lyft driver we had really good taste in music, and I don't remember, oh man.
Where were we going? And
oh wait, no, that's right. It was me alone because I was taking.
Tell
a
that
Lyft.
Story. I'm gonna get some water.
I was taking a Lyft to meet you and Matt Farah at the Noodle place, and he had pretty good taste in music. And it was raining, and you're passing through the city, and it's just everything's really nice. And yeah, looking at stuff. Rory Yamamoto, Roman, where are you in JoJo? I literally just finished the anime. Like, I have not picked up the manga. I'm not really. I don't know. It's funny. I say I don't have time for a manga, and yet somehow I have time to watch the anime. But I guess part of it is, I'm just not a manga type. I'm kind of the same way with comic books now. Like, I just find them hard to get into in a certain way. But yeah, JoJo, I kind of wish I could erase my mind and watch it again for the first time all over again, because it was a really nice viewing experience. And I honestly don't know whether I liked Stardust Crusaders or Diamond is Unbreakable better, which I think is possibly a controversial opinion, but because everybody loves Stardust Crusaders, I guess. But yeah, there was something about.
Did you answer John Gannern's question? Resident Evil remake on GameCube was super great.
Never played it. I did have a GameCube though, but I got it for my birthday when I was. Wait, when would that have been? I think it would have been like 20 or 21 possibly.
Dude. Was that year 2000 or 2001? Because it was like
mid 2000s.
Mid 2000s.
It was GameCube.
GameCube was that 2000 2001. I remember that Greg Davis, yes, the guy who lived in the dorm room next to us, or next to me, in Lehigh Hall in Kutztown University, he got a GameCube a week before it released because somehow he ordered it from Japan.
Wow.
And it had a button on the back to switch it from like the two different regions.
Yeah.
So you had to press it or something like that to make it work. So we're all freaking at his house. it got shipped to his parents' house, and his parents lived in Browntown, not kidding, or Brownstown, down on the way to Lancaster. So we drove to his house to pick this thing up, and we're playing like the Star Wars something that came on.
Oh,
like,
Jedi Outcast.
No, the game.
Yeah, the discs
are like they're all CD singles. So anyway, and then friggin' we were playing like Madden on it, and the GameCube was up on a shelf where the TV was, and someone walked past it, tripped on the controller cables, and it fell on the floor and busted.
Oh,
and he got it fixed. He had to send it back, but it was a bummer. So I hope that answers your question, Kyle Ganaris. Resident Evil remix. I never played it.
Yeah, I never played it either.
Kyle Solar says NZ $2. It's British. I was talking about that car that we looked at. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah.
JB225. Hello again. Thoughts on doing a road rally like Gumball? Yes, I am going to, hell or high water, take part in Retreat from Moscow, which is happening again. I'm either going to buy my own junker car or join Justin Kramer's team. And Justin, when he bought his current shop, it's Catasauqua Auto Repair, it came with a 1958 Ford tow truck in the yard behind. He got the engine to turn over, and he wants to get this car running, and that's going to be his rally car. I mean, there's like room for 3 people in the cab of that thing. So I don't know if 5 days in a car I want to be 5 days in a pickup truck.
Yeah.
So I'm probably either going to buy a K car.
Yeah, it's like wacky races. Like the Hanna-Barbera thing of everybody shows up in their own little jalopy of some kind.
Or if I could get that Fiber One sponsorship I so dearly desire. Dude, Fiber One.
Like how?
I need $3,000.
That's all.
Can you do? You know
That's pocket granola to you guys.
Team Fiber or Team Brown.
Yeah.
I will bring fiber to the young folks.
Yes, we will make it popular.
We will make a whole new market for you for the cost of a Chrysler Plymouth for the price of a Dodge Reliant K 1988. Dr. Squared $2.
Yeah, Rocketeer's coming back as a
TV show. We talked about that. Thank you, Dr. Squared.
So much.
Daniel Smith, $5. You should also stop by Kalamazoo, Missouri. 10 plus cars plus a jet ski. How would we film a jet ski? 04 Suburban. 88 Super 1J. That's interesting. 2010 BMW 550i GT. 09 Saab 93, 05 S430, I think that's a Volvo, and 2010 A4 Avon. I'm kind of interested in the Saab because we don't do enough of them. Yeah. Kalamazoo, Missouri, haven't been there. I want to visit all 50 states, and I realize in a lot of these long Q&A videos, I play with my fingernails, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing different from me looking at my phone, although there was a question in here that I wanted to answer that wasn't a super chat one, and it's taking forever for my phone to actually load it. Oh, it was the guy asking what your favorite vaporwave album is.
Well, everybody wants to go to Flower Shop. I think I'm gonna have to. Well, there's this one mix called Dollar Menu, and that one, I have a bunch of mixes on my Sansa clip. Dad style that I have for flying on planes. It's kind of like my getting on plane mix.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to go by the same artist. It's called Neo Cali. Neo Cali is in Neo, California. Neo Cali. Yeah. I think that's my favorite vaporwave album. Although I will be attempting to make a half an hour vaporwave track. That's going to have nothing to do with cars. It's just going to be my new sincerity love for vaporwave, because to me vaporwave is like going to a mall. In that when you slow down the music and hearing people saying, "You are listening to the Weather Channel. Here's the local weather," it sounds to me at age 37 what a grown-up sounded like to a 9-year-old me. That unstoppable voice of God You know, this is an adult, and they have things figured out.
Yeah.
Here comes the weather.
Because I have made it so.
Yeah. And I wonder if the Weather Channel will become to me what nightly news now is to my dad. Because I was over at my parents' house today, and now my dad just watches the news all day. Like, I mean, he goes and does yard work. I mean, both my parents are retired. But it's like, it's always time for the news. Yeah. And then, but the nightly news is the important bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, he just
Wait, the nightly news is in the 6:30 one that used to be anchored by, like, Peter Jennings?
Something
or
like that.
Or the late local news that's kind of...
Oh, that's a good question. No, my dad doesn't stay up till 11 p.m.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the 6:30 news.
Because I know a lot of people in this area who are going to completely, like, fall apart at the seams the day, if and when Jim Gardner ever retires. I say if and when because that dude has been around since before I was born, anchoring Action News, and I'm just thinking, like, there's some poor dude waiting to, like, get elevated into the anchored chair, like Prince Charles, who's probably gonna get to be king for like 5 minutes because, you know, he's never gonna get around to getting on the throne because God save the Queen, but she may in fact be immortal. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed by Queen Elizabeth.
Call up. I wish I had like international dialing. Of course, now they're 6 hours ahead of us. Although, yeah, Tom Clark's probably up. Like, if I could just call him on the show, is the Queen immortal? Yeah,
like she's the only monarch many people have
who has
ever
lived
known.
Through how many wars?
And was a mechanic in the Second World War. And oh man, such an amazing woman. Lightspeed.
Are you recording the usual general video around Chrysler National Show this weekend? Yes, I will be there this Friday. I will do which Viper is best Viper. If so, my Mopar is best Mopar, and it does a weird trick. I wonder what that trick shall be. So Lightspeed, if you will be there on Friday, you will see me. And I also got to finish filming the Millvale Neon. I have to call that guy. Cactus Catastrophe. Best first time ska band. I'm gonna go with the Toasters. Like 70s and 80s. General purpose ska. I'm not gonna really put you into the Slackers yet because they're almost like Rocksteady, and in fact their most recent album, which I think is the Great Rocksteady Swindle, is more older, like dance hall stuff. But the Slackers have such it's like this weird New York Brooklyn sound. Yeah. Whereas when you think of traditional ska, you would either go, you know, pop ska, which is Real Big Fish, but I think Toasters is going to be like traditional. The second wave of ska, it's going to be two-tone. That, or you could do Madness, you know, one step beyond. Why not? So yeah, I'd go Madness and then the Toasters and maybe the Specials. Madness, Toasters, Specials. That's my answer. Dan Dunlop. I lost my virginity in the back of a second-generation Forester, like the one I drove. Every time I see Goldie, I get loads of weird nostalgia. How did you get laid in the back of a second-gen
I'm trying
Forester?
to think of how that would work.
Because when we film the back of the shots, he's sitting sideways in the back of a Forester.
Yeah, I have to sit like crux to try to get, you know, the shot, because I'm moving the crane arm too, but for the camera that's in the back is the thing. But I'm thinking about it, and there's no real room for, unless this is like some kind of, you know, you were a teenager and they were a teenager and neither of you had fully like grown to a point where sex in the back of a Forester would be as uncomfortable as it could be as an adult.
Right, and you're backed up to the point that you're a Super Soaker 50. You know, you are ready to blow. Yeah. That's like a 40-second fuck right there.
Yeah, you're going to be uncomfortable, but not for very long.
Unless you took the privacy puller out, to hide what's in the cargo bed. If that wasn't in the car and you folded the seats down, you could fuck that way. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know, man. How did you do it, Dan?
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. Chris, would you be interested in reviewing my Polaris RZR 900S near Centralia? Yes.
Shoot an email.
regularcars@gmail.com. That is one of those. It looks like an off-road golf cart. And you got to tow it everywhere. I think that's what you're talking about. Polaris RZR 900S. They're really like farm vehicles or hunting vehicles.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, it's Polaris RZR 900.
There's like any excuse to go to the wonderfully weird haven known as Centralia. It's the ultimate Pennsylvania weirdness.
My one weird thing about going to Centralia is now the state police have a vested interest in writing tickets. So that's my one issue about going up there. I still haven't rode my DR up there. Just to go up there. But yeah, dude, Chris, regularcars@gmail.com. Send me an image, include a phone nail and a picture.
Real quick, from Brother Beam in the live chat, he's still looking for information on the Chicago meet, and I realize if you missed the first hour, you missed our thing on the car meet. It's going to be on Monday, this coming Monday, July 16th, at 1 Wolverina Deck in Glenview, Illinois.
Approximately 5 p.m.
Approximately.
Watch my Twitter. Watch the official Regular Cars Twitter, and there will be information on there.
Yeah, because we will not be announcing this on other platforms because we want a reasonable size, controllable crowd.
Right.
And only the people who hear about it on Twitter tend to be the ones who are reasonable. Which is not to say anything bad about anyone who hears about it through the channel or through the Facebook page, but...
Dan Dunlop says, RCR rear seats were down, Carver cover was out. Can confirm the 40-second smash.
My man.
My man.
That's, yeah. Delightful.
It's like the second you go in, you're like trying to hold back. Don't come.
I have no mouth and I must scream. It's just, you're trying. It's all like you're just thinking about, it's like Jim Gardner without his clothes on. Just think anything, any trick that you can think of.
The second you go in, it's like a Pillsbury's toaster strudel fresh from the toaster oven. Like, don't you fucking.
Yeah. It just like.
You're like pleading with your dick. It's like, just give me a solid 30. Give me a solid 30.
She's like rolling the condom on and you just blast it right out of her fingertips. Just like clear across the.
She puts it on for you.
Yeah.
She's like, what is on her face?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Elliot Smith starts playing. M Beach just sends us $2.
W Bush $10. Treasury yield is Treasury yield curve.
I'm sorry, Ilby Desi says blades because the name was taken. I think we answered that.
Yeah,
before.
He said like it's where you don't pronounce the I's. It's just blades. But he put an I in front of each one because the word blades was already taken.
Okay.
W Bush, $10. Thank you. Treasury yield curve is trending 0.03% from going negative. Since 1970, when that happens, the economy goes into recession within 18 months. Bonds, maybe? Oh, this is about the conversation earlier that you were having about finance and how your mother's a financial advisor and how once you get a certain amount of money squared away, you're going to start investing in things.
Yeah.
And he's thinking maybe bonds. So
I'm thinking I want something that, I can get into for like 5 years and then just get out of it.
Yeah.
Like
you're not going to become a shareholder in like World Wrestling Entertainment or the XFL.
Oh God. No.
That's not going to be soaring.
Bonds? I mean, yes, bonds are safe. I'm looking for a little bit more cash than what bonds do.
Yeah.
M Beats, no question, but thank you for $2. I'm thinking if I have another G&T, I am not going to be in any condition to... Well, I'm going to be making a disastrous dinner for myself. Do you think maybe I could get a ride to Sheetz?
Sure.
You got to get gas anyway.
Yeah,
I'm going to get
gas.
a Sheetz burrito and something horrible.
I mean, that's the only way to live on a hump day like Wednesday.
Humber was a conservative luxury brand, says Kyle Soner from NZ. Kia Ora, a part of the Roots group that was later bought by Chrysler. Huh. I will send photos of my dad's Super Snipe. Interesting.
Yeah.
Humbler.
Very nice.
It sounds like a car name I should have known about. But I don't. This knife sucks. Well, that's why he sent it to me. It can't even shave my arm.
Houston Retail says, give Sheetz a shout out online for free stuff. I feel like that's most brands. Like, I gave a shout out to Fiber One once because I was in a thunderstorm and I had to go to the grocery store, and while I was in the grocery store, I got some Fiber One bars, you know.
Yeah.
And I tweeted them on social media of like, hey, in a thunderstorm, still had to get my Fiber One bars. They're like, oh, thank you. And then I got a direct message of like, hey, do you want like a free box of stuff?
Did you get it?
No, because they asked for like address information. I gave it to them. It was their official account. Like, I triple checked before doing this, and then they just never sent anything. Of course, like, you know, maybe it got sent to the wrong address and some guy's like, hey, you know, why is there... Because there's like a south version of my address, as opposed to like the north version. And so maybe if it accidentally went to the south version, like, they're not exactly going to tell you because, hey, I got a box of free fiber. But yeah,
you know, maybe
or the brand shirts happening. That's...
You know, the brand shirt that I wore is in my garage, just in a pile of clump. I should just put that on eBay or something like that. Yeah,
that was like 5 minutes before we actually filmed the thing. It just like wrote brand on in a Sharpie on the thing.
David Kaya Chan, no questions, but thank you for $2 Canadian. Toasty says 1987 Chevrolet Caprice Classic in 2018, the official car of a retired firefighter. The official car of retirement government officials to whom you don't even need to... The official car of a man who you don't even have to get drunk for him to say the N-word. 1987 Chevrolet Caprice Classic in 2018. The official car of a widow who's driving her husband's car in which she found her husband dead. That's... I mean, indicate that he just got into his car and died, but not like Office Space, like committing suicide. It's just, well, that was it.
Well,
And she pulled him out of the Caprice Classic, put him back in his wheelchair, then went to get groceries, and then called the funeral home.
Yeah.
Gibby 2000 says, why hasn't there been another car to do the McLaren F1 3-seat configuration? It's the coolest shit. Yeah, that is cool. The only car to ever do it. I mean, I think... they're in it for ease of construction, and just doing that was so boutique to build a 3-seater car where the driver's in the middle, because that's what the original McLaren F1 was.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to drive that for the experience, but maybe it's safety, because that's a 90s car.
Yeah.
That they couldn't really do that today. There's probably some sort of head restraint stuff that you would have to have side impact or something like that. I'm sure you could get a kit car like Ariel Atom style thing, but dude, I was
gonna say it's like with the 5-point harness. Yeah.
But I think because the Ariel Atom exists, you don't really need to be buying a McLaren F1 unless you're just investing in it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I've noticed when it gets to the bottom and it has to reset itself, that's when it automatically dad clicks. So we gotta go back to that F1 question.
Oh, there it is. Aiden Turner was next. Thank you for $2. Come to A-Town to see my E39.
E39 BMW in Allentown. Well,
I assume they meant like Atlanta.
Is that what A-Town is?
Well, it depends on what, because I've heard Atlanta called A-Town, but he could just as easily be talking about Allentown, because we are Pennsylvania centric. So why would he say A-Town if he didn't mean Allentown?
I wonder if in there's this one Beastie Boys track where they just shout out cities and they say the A-Town, and now that you mentioned Atlanta, I don't know if they're mentioning
Aiden
Allentown.
says no, it's Allentown.
Okay.
All right, cool, awesome. Average Joe, £2. Thank you so much. My favorite producer director is Stanley Kubrick. Not a bad choice. He's a very talented director. And
who was the director who did? Was it Kubrick?
What?
Who did the Nixon movie where
Anthony Hopkins?
Yes.
No, that was Oliver Stone.
Oh, okay.
As far as I can recall.
I've never seen that movie, and just recently it came up in like my suggestions or something. Or I don't know how it came up, and I started watching this clip. It's like, this movie is simultaneously trippy and intriguing, and I know Anthony Hopkins doesn't look anything like Nixon.
He doesn't look a single loving thing like Nixon.
But I'm in.
He gets the spirit of the man.
Yeah.
Kind of like Frank Langella in Frost Nixon. Like he does a good Nixon embodiment, but not a very good facsimile or likeness.
So thanks, Joe. Thanks for £2.
Hyper Garage, $4.99. Thank you so much for $4.99. Do you guys think the new Supra will be worth the wait and price tag?
Haven't we been waiting for 5 years for this car to show up at every single New York auto show?
It's the Half-Life 3 of cars.
Exactly. Exactly. Like,
knock on wood, but the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Half-Life 3, and the Winds of Winter will all be out before this new Supra.
Yeah. Do you guys think the new Supra, like, look, it's gonna have to be in the age where everybody's shooting high horsepower. One of two things is gonna happen. It's either gonna go the new Ford GT and have crazy, like, it's gonna be like a track only thing, or they're gonna have to court the 6-figure horsepower rating. I don't think it can ride on luxury, but it's gonna have a BMW engine, isn't it?
Probably.
Someone was saying that it was gonna have a BMW straight 6.
Yeah, I'm behind on my R cars perusing, my Redditing.
Like, as a natural cynic, I say it's not going to be worth the wait. If they can keep the price down, then maybe it'll turn into an FRS sort of thing. Like, people said it was weird that it had the Scion FRS, Toyota A82, and coincidentally Subaru BRZ. I mean, they have it's a Toyota with a Subaru engine, and people didn't think it would work, and it does. So, if the price is obtainable for people, then yeah. But if it's not, it'll be a boutique car. It'll sit in someone's dusty car museum.
Yeah.
Write-off place.
Tax write-off, yeah. Brandy here says, I think it's meant to be what the original Supra was, which was more of a luxury car, I believe.
Yeah, but which Supra? Are you talking about the 3rd gen? Because that was a luxury car. The 2nd gen wasn't supposed to be a luxury car. That was supposed to be a sports car. I mean, you get in the inside of a nice 3rd gen, you're like, oh, this is supposed to compete with BMW. The 4th gen wasn't. It was supposed to compete with Corvette, which isn't a luxury car. So, I mean, it is going to be. But you are right. I understand what you're saying. It is going to be a luxury-esque car. Gear Guts. You know what, Gear Guts? I'm going to pause on this because I finished my water as a responsible.
This will give me
person will, so I am going to start G&T number 2.
Nice. This will give me the chance to answer a question from someone earlier. Oh, go for it. And also to the Charles person who wanted. Oh crap! Did I do the thing? All right. There was a Charles guy there who in the chat I can't find anymore. He was hoping for a birthday shout out. Happy birthday to you and also me, because you share my birthday. And I forget if anybody else shares my birthday, but I'm sure there are other people in the chat who were born on 7-11 and somehow people still forget. But let's see. Garrett Box, this was from a while ago. If you found yourself on death row, what would be your final meal request? And it's one of those things where I've always kind of thought about that before, not necessarily out of a genuine thought that I would ever be on death row or anything like that. It's just the curiosity, that morbidity of it all, you know. I'm trying to find the list of it here online of the guy who kind of got last meals taken away for everyone in the United States, or discontinued, or not from the United States but in Texas, because he ordered an insane amount of food and then they sent it to him and he was like, you know what, I'm not really that hungry, because it was the most impossible order. Here we go. Okay, so Gary Carl Simmons Jr., a murderer executed for lethal injection. Actually, this isn't the guy, but it's still an insane order. 1 Pizza Hut medium super supreme deep dish pizza with double portions of mushrooms, onions, jalapeno peppers, and pepperoni. A second pizza with 3 cheeses, olives, bell pepper, tomato, garlic, and Italian sausage. 10 8-ounce packs of Parmesan cheese. 10 8-ounce packs of ranch dressing. 1 family-sized bag of Doritos, nacho cheese flavor. An 8-ounce jalapeno nacho cheese. 4 ounces of sliced jalapenos, 2 large strawberry shakes, 2 20-ounce cherry cokes, 1 supersized order of McDonald's fries with extra ketchup and mayonnaise, and 2 pints of strawberry ice cream. He consumed about half the meal. Like, huh? Like, that's madness to me. I can't even imagine eating a third of the meal, much less half. Like, that's complete madness. But yeah, all right, this is the guy who completely ruined last meals for everybody else. Yes, I know, this is thrilling audio. Let's rock. Lawrence Russell Brewer, a murderer in Texas executed by lethal injection in 2011. So this guy got 2 chicken fried steaks smothered in gravy with sliced onions, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger with fixings on the side, a cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos, a large bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecue with half a loaf of white bread, 3 fajitas with fixings, a meat lover's pizza, 3 root beers, 1 pint of Bluebell vanilla ice cream, a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts. And that's it. Now, the request was granted, but he refused the meal when it arrived, saying that he was simply not hungry, prompting Texas to stop granting last meal requests to condemned inmates. It's like, basically, yeah, Claudio, like, that's basically Big Smoke's order from GTA San Andreas. And a Diet Coke. Yeah. Well, Big Smoke didn't order Diet Coke, but still. It's kind of a strange thing, last meals. And if I never answered the question of like what I would get if I were on death row and I got to have one more meal. God's honest truth, I wouldn't be able to eat. So I'd be shitting myself. So I'd
probably get Taco Bell.
Yeah.
It's I'm like, gonna shit myself. Let's go big or go home.
Yeah. It's like, what am I preserving anyway? You know, I don't know. I'd probably have something that was similar to something my mom made as a child, probably like corned beef and rice, because, you know, I didn't realize, I didn't realize we were poor and that it was kind of like an easy meal to make, even though like it's fantastic and I eat it I haven't had it in a while, but like I've eaten it as a grown up and I'm like, this is still good. This is fantastic. Canned corned beef, just add it to white rice, you know, stir that up. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. R, come down to Indiana. It's a regular state with regular people. And I have the world's most regular car. A 2016 CRV.
Regular.
Indiana. Did we drive through Indiana?
Yeah, South Bend.
Fuck, we went to South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, and I was super happy because they had a Ponderosa Steakhouse, which they stopped having in our area.
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah, and I had so many like delightful flashbacks. It tasted exactly the same. You know, it's a franchise eatery, so but there are so few of them left. It seems that I was just happy to like. It was like being a kid again. You go up and it's like, okay, you know, order your entree, but you still get the buffet.
Yeah,
and then you're just nibbling away from stuff at the buffet while you're waiting for them to bring you your steak just how you like it, with your baked potato, with just the right amount of butter, and you're just like, But yeah, it's great.
Blades. Blades again. And we got a lot of questions to go through. Yeah, we do. Already I'm thinking about that Sheets burrito. I'm going to get some tots. I'm going to be some, like, I don't know what I'm going to get a side. I'm going to go. It's a video of Porsche yelling Nemesis at Mustang. What was that a reference to?
Don't know. Probably related to the Resident Evil thing earlier with the Nemesis.
Garth
Volbeck.
Thank you for $10. I'm guessing Australian.
Yeah, because it has an A in front of it for some reason.
Or Austria. Or maybe it's AU is going to be Australian dollars. Maybe A is Austrian. Advice for someone considering continuing their studies in English Honors Masters. Oh, boy. Well, we both did it. I read that it's not worth it. You read right, man. I mean, we beat the odds.
We really did. I'm not qualified to do anything but this. Like, but write. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that, because that's the thing you do with it. You write or you teach.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're not teaching, man, you don't need a master's.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience copywriting? Well, you mean like legally or just
like writing ad copy? Because
I can do that.
I've done that before at a freelance level when I was fresh out of undergrad, but it was mostly, actually no, it was copy editing more than anything else. And adding you know, like inserting my own cleaner ways of saying things.
Yeah.
Like cleaning it up.
Yeah. I forget when I did it, but it was one of those things like you get exposure. Oh, great. So yeah. No.
To what end?
Don't get an English honors degree.
Yeah.
Unless you're teaching and you get a guaranteed pay jump, which means you're already a teacher, which means you'd get a master's degree in English education and not English. Unless no. There's no way.
What was the name of the final bosses of grad school? Like your convener, but like the group of them that you have to defend your thesis to?
In grad school?
Yeah.
Mine?
No, but like
else.
what's the name of that like group?
Oh, that's a committee. Or
yeah, it's like a committee or a panel. Basically, my panel that I was defending my thing to were basically trying to talk me out of actually finishing this degree, even though I was like basically at the end of it. Like not literally, but
who was it?
Laubach, Ronan, and oh man, how am I blanking on the third? I want to say Chernikov. I'm pretty sure it was.
Mine was Vogel, Blomain, and someone else.
Yeah,
who like was late. Whoever the third person was late.
Yeah,
you're just saying just started coming in when I was like in the middle of my presentation.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. Just I don't really know what to offer as an alternative to pursuing English, but I suppose anything else would do. Let's see. Dr. Devarius, $2. Thank you for that. Says, oh, hi, Mark. Happy birthday, Roman. Oh, thank you so much. Let's see. John Ward, $9.99. Hey, guys, enjoy some Chicago dogs or Italian needs on me. Just test drove the new Subaru Ascent, and even though it's big, it's still fun to drive with lots of power down low.
Good. Yeah, dude. When we're in Chicago, we got to get one of those dogs. I mean, maybe Hebrew National. I don't know what's in it, but I had one of those Chicago dogs, and I don't know. Maybe I was just in love with the city. Maybe it was because we were inside the inner loop. I don't know, but I was satisfied.
Yeah. The first time that we were in Chicago, like right in the outskirts, and we were talking with Carol and his friend with an O, who I can't recall offhand, but he was telling us about, or telling me, I don't know if you were like doing the test drive, but about this place called Al's in Chicago, that it was this cash only hot dog restaurant, I guess. And I say restaurant because basically it's, you know, it was a room that sold hot dogs, and instead of any cash register, it was just a jar. But the thing is, he made hot dogs out of everything. Like you get gator dogs, foie gras, regular dogs too, but apparently there would be a 2.5 hour line around the block for these hot dogs, and it's impossible to get any of them for lunch. And so, Colin Kavarzan, what would you suggest as a job for someone who loves being around cars? Because that's all I know.
Mechanic?
Yeah,
you mean being around cars or working on them?
Yeah.
Don't sell them, because then you'll hate them and you'll hate people.
If you can get into automotive journalism,
maybe you could be a parts guy at a shop, or I'd hate to say a retail place, because people come in there and think people at AutoZone are real mechanics. Sometimes they are in the case of Justin Kramer, but most aren't. Anyway, Adrian Turner. Not only is my E39 a stick, it has 366,000 miles on a BMW.
Oh, wow.
How many times did you have to go see Dr. Vanos, Adrian? Really? That engine has never been out? I'm guessing. I mean, you had to have been easy on it, Adrian. Interesting. But thank you for $2.03. Dan Dunlop again. Rear seats down, cargo cover is out. 40-second smash.
40 seconds, baby.
I mean, if that's your it's got to be 40 seconds for your first time has to be like salvia. That's a long 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Everything's new. Now, that's that's if you never hit a few infield flies before that. Which I heard was it was on a podcast that was the case of Joe Rogan. He lost his virginity at 12 to his babysitter. So the first time he ever orgasmed was inside someone. And it was before he masturbated or something like that. The first time he came was in the box. Was in a box.
Right in the box.
And then he said he was sex crazy after that, until he realized this is easier.
Yeah, no, way easier.
Yeah.
And more, you can do it anywhere too. I mean, well, you could do the other thing anywhere.
Speaking of anywhere, JB225 says, I smashed in the back of an O2 Fox body? Or
how on earth?
Okay, he either means O2 Fox body. Oh my! It wouldn't be a Fox body. That's 2002. That's an F-body Camaro.
Dude, I can't even open a bottle of water in the back of those
F-body
things.
Camaro has the same seating configuration as your Mustang.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's not a bench in the back. It's just those two kind of pods that you sit in.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you fuck in that?
I have no idea. I feel so bad anytime last week I was giving my brother and his girlfriend a ride to with my nephew to somewhere, and there was absolutely no room for anyone anywhere. The girlfriend sat up front, my brother in the back with my nephew, and my brother he's only a little bit taller than me, and he barely had any room back there, even with the seat pushed all the way up. I'm just this car is not meant to have grown human beings in the back.
No. You know what has room in the back seat? The original. We never. Did you ride in the back of that '66 Mustang Fastback? I can't.
No, I don't think so.
We did. That thing, the original Mustang has room in the back. Well, it's a Falcon, so it's made to have room in its back seat.
I remember riding in the back of Subaru WRX fans Mustang, and that was a really well. First of all, we had Tim Strickler
who rode in the back. Who's this? Tim Strickler is 6'3" or something like that.
He's basically the tall guy from that episode of The Simpsons, the 22 shorts about Springfield. Forget steamed clams. That was the best short in that episode.
We all need to ride even the very tall. Cactus Catastrophe again. $4.99. It's almost 10 o'clock, man. I am feeling that sheets. I'll tell you what.
All right.
What 90s American? I mean, I still have this much G&T.
No, but we could call for an end to any more questions.
Yeah. It's only been an hour. Are you on a schedule?
No, I'm not on a schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
What 90s American car would you buy and why? Okay. See, I had my MR2, but that's 80s. 90s. I mean...
Yeah, the Eagle that I'm thinking of is an 80s.
You know, I'm going to... Oh, there were some good Civics in the 90s, man. There's also that Neon. There's the Neon. There's that too. There's a Subaru, like, well, then we could talk about imported Subaru RS. Someone in the regular chat, Zach, says my 98 Intrigue for $500. Oldsmobile. Yeah. Which debuted in the X-Files movie.
No, did it?
Yeah, the Oldsmobile Intrigue. That's where they debuted it in the X-Files movie. That was Mulder and Sculler's car.
That has one of my favorite movie soundtracks of all time. It has Ween. It has The Cure. Has Foo Fighters. Has
Mulder finally saw the alien spaceship.
I never actually saw that movie. I bought the soundtrack for no reason. That was back when I was like buying soundtracks to move. Like my biggest thing as a kid, more than albums, I liked buying soundtracks to movies because you're getting a bunch of things and being introduced to a bunch of different artists that you might not otherwise have listened to. So I got like, the Godzilla movie soundtrack from '98. Although I did actually see that movie, and that yeah, but it has a great Jamiroquai and a Ben Folds song. Like Air by Ben Folds is on that soundtrack. Like I'm coming up for air.
That has nothing to do with monsters.
No, nothing at all. But it's playing in the background in like a scene for like 2 seconds. So it's like, fuck it, it goes on the soundtrack.
All right.
But yeah, the X-Files movie soundtrack is a fantastic
Mulder is
soundtrack. Still
driving the olds in the new X-Files seasons? Ooh. Dude, if he's still rocking an Oldsmobile Intrigue from the 90s, that is kick-ass.
Nice.
So to answer your question, Cactus Catastrophe, I mean, we're going Mopar with this. We're going the ultimate 90s Mopar, which is the Neon ACR. Good luck finding one of those things.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Someone said Toyota Previa. I get it, but I don't want to maintain something like that. Nearly Epic. Thanks for your videos. Now I know way more about Pennsylvania than I ever expected to know. And you will know more. There's lots of places in PA we have yet to go, like That's our only seaside town. Or lakeside town of Erie, Pennsylvania.
I was about to say, we've never been to Erie before. I've never personally been to Erie
I've never been to Erie either.
Yeah. I've never been to Intercourse. Like,
I was in Intercourse once. It's exactly what you think. It's a whole lot of Amish stores and like every single Intercourse is about the size, like geographical size of West Reading if the entire population was just on your block. There's like nothing there.
That's hilarious.
It's all gift stores that sell keychains that says "We Heart Intercourse."
Oh, so it's like, okay, our town is in on the joke.
Yeah.
Har har har, but secretly like
You can take your picture from the sign that says "Now entering Intercourse." I had a sign of myself in that, so yeah. Blue Ball, Virginville. Yep.
Oh, it did that thing again where it shoots you right to the bottom. You gotta do Blue Ball to Intercourse to Paradise, he said.
I remember I was at a sleepover at Eric Hunsinger's house and we watched Trapped in Paradise.
Never heard of it.
Crap. It was a screwball comedy from the 90s.
Oh, all right. Now we're back.
David Bowie. $5. Shame you didn't have a lacrosse polo for the last video. We could have had Stan the Preppy Man. The whole prep thing in the 90s blew right by my school.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the rich kid school and I still didn't really get much of the prep vibe from it. It's just like, okay, you're wearing Jordache. Like, what is it? What is it? I mean, but maybe part of it is just sort of my memory changing in a sort of way. I in the sense that like I just think of them all as kids now.
Yeah.
And so I don't necessarily remember much about them specifically.
Trapped in Paradise was a Nick Cage movie?
Huh.
I was watching this like clip of from, you know how people will upload bits like Opie and Anthony,
Yeah,
and they'll put their own visuals to talk about what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it was him with Patrice O'Neal when he was still kicking, and they were just talking about celebrities who wear wigs all the time, and like Nick Cage, they had some pictures of him without his like he's been wearing hair pieces for a while now.
Damn.
And like him and Travolta has like who's someone who's losing a little bit of hair but not that much, like Transporter. Jason Statham. Like, and they brought him up as well as a guy who's going bald, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna bzz it down. Yeah. So like underneath whatever movie like Travolta's in, he has Jason Statham's hair.
He's got the old Captain Picard going on.
Yeah,
like
Mm-hmm.
But
shame you didn't have a lacrosse polo for your last video of Stan the Preppy Man. Stan the Man's never coming back, but maybe Touch Base guy will come back.
Yeah.
It would, like, our original idea for Touch Base would be to do it at the farmhouse kitchen in West Reading. Yeah. Be just like a guy like like getting creamer. Like, we would have to have somebody with a restaurant who would allow us to do this. Yeah. To like have the half and half thermos just talking while pouring it on himself to just get that still shot.
Yeah.
M.H. Taylor. No question. Just like to support you guys here and there. Smiley face. Keep up your oddness. Thank you, M.H. Taylor. We will. Intrusive Google. No, that's not. Intrusive Ogle. Thanks for the Hamilton. My family calls those dead Fred cars. I'm thinking he's referring to the Caprice I was talking about. Yeah. Tiny old women drawing lug show bars her dead husbands finally bought and promptly died.
Oh.
Technically, that's my dad's Toyota Cressida. Yeah. Because my grandfather bought that car the year he died.
Wow.
And then grandma drove it until she ran into a brick retaining wall, and then she decided it was time to stop driving because she couldn't see at night. She drove a little bit more after that. She just didn't drive at night.
Yeah.
And then she stopped driving. Freddie Hernandez for a while wanted to buy my dad's Cressida, but I think my dad's going to be buried in that car.
Yeah.
Because that's his dad.
That's like, well, I just figured it was kind of like family heirloom. I didn't know that there was like a personification
of his father.
Yeah,
that was the car his father bought
on some Field of Dreams type thing.
The leather is like torn off the seat in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's a freaking Toyota Cressida with like 80,000 miles on it with a rebuilt top end. Like the head gasket's been replaced on the 3M GTE. It's like all it needs is rear struts, and I don't think he'll ever replace the rear struts.
Yeah,
because the guys at the garage know my dad, and they'll probably just keep passing that thing on insurance on inspection. Like, it needs shocks on the back, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Dad drives it to Boyer's to get a rotisserie chicken, and that's kind of it. And for a while, I kind of wanted to buy the Cressida, but I know if I got it. I already have a 4-door car with a good engine, and that's the Falcon. If I had this, it'd be an LS going into that thing. But, in a long enough timeline, the Falcon will probably get a 4.3 LS at some point. So I know people will be tearing their hair out that my Ford would have a GM engine in it at some point.
And it would also seem like kind of daunting to be the custodian of your grandfather's soul.
Dude, you're right.
Like, there are things that I got from my grandmother when she passed that I'm still kind of weird about. Not that, like, it was a bequeathment or anything. It's just, like, like a coffee pot here or there.
Yeah.
And just kind of everything that's attached to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just strange. But, life.
Yeah. Camera Bird 199 says opinions on Nissan 200SX, which I don't think we got in the United States, but then that's a U.S. currency, or S12. Oh, okay. You mean 200SX or S12?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to do the Dan Solner swap and put the JDM engine in it.
Excuse me, gonna grab a leak.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
And to be honest, that swap's a pretty good swap. It solves a lot of that car's problems. Look, you got 3 choices with a 200SX. JDM engine. I'm sorry, you got 4 choices. JDM engine, LS, keep it stock, or drift missile. I'm always in the camp of keeping it stock, Camera Bird, which is usually the easiest thing to do. If your interior is good, you're good. Get a cover for your dash because they crack in the sun, and just enjoy it. That's my thoughts on it. Mr. Putin. Oh, nice. I like it. That's a reference that so many people are not going to get. Mr. Puddinhead says main traveled roads. Like, that's 2 references. That's like, because every now and again, people want to take the N-word out of Huckleberry Finn, right? But they don't know about Puddinhead Wilson. Dude, Puddinhead Wilson makes rappers. Puddinhead Wilson, and this guy in the chat right here had the literature references on point. Like, double boast from his name. Like, first he said main traveled roads, main traveled loads, but look what his name is.
Mr. Peanut Head.
Oh.
What did you think it was?
Oh, I thought it was Puddinhead.
Oh, like Puddinhead Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I still have that book somewhere.
Mine is literally, it's within an arm's reach.
Nice.
It's right there. This one.
Puddinhead Wilson.
This is like
Mark Twain.
My thing is about Puddinhead Wilson. Puddinhead Wilson. Okay. If the adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn is Rapper's Delight, this is NWA.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there was the N-word a few times in Huckleberry Finn. This is almost on every goddamn page.
Yeah. It was
like, this was written after Huckleberry Finn. I
think. Well, the irony of it being that was his last novel about the antebellum South.
Oh, so, okay.
I guess if you're gonna go out with all the and like your horrible racial slurs blazing.
Like literally, he wrote all his other stuff and said, "You guys still don't get it, do you? Fine, I will spell it out." And how many pages is this? Not even 200.
There's no fat on that book.
No, 120 pages on the nose.
He's just throwing out N-bombs left and right.
Yeah,
but it's it's meant to teach.
Yeah,
like it's not it's not like in a Tarantino way of like having a bunch of like N-words in there
for fun.
Is there to because it sounds like cool or something. Like this one, it's actually meant to show that
to awe and delight.
Yeah. Like it's sort of contrasting the different attitudes of people, because I mean I think the plot, it's like a guy solves or takes on a murder case involving 2 foreigners, or 2, was it 2 black men or 2 like people from a different country?
I'll read it again.
I don't know. It's a great book,
and it's also a little bit of the Prince and the Pauper going on. There's a switch baby action going on. Yeah,
but it really is like a great thing of just, you know, hate isn't something that should ever be tolerated. In a very Dusty Rhodes kind of way of like, I was raised to learn that a man is a man first before anything else about his creed or nationality or the color of his skin. Ric Flair, let me tell you something else, daddy.
I was watching another Ric Flair promo. Like, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And he's calling out people that he isn't feuding with.
Yeah. No, I just love it. I fell asleep last night to a couple audio podcasts about wrestling, and it was set to autoplay, so the next thing on the playlist, I ended up waking up in the middle of a Ric Flair promo where he was like talking about like, I'm limousines, you're like, station wagons, you have fat girls and I have, like supermodels or whatever. But yeah, it was very eye-opening.
Carl Broom.
Oh, we skipped Spencer Ducharme.
Spencer Ducharme. I'm sorry, Spencer. South Carolina, we're probably going to wrap this up in probably the next 15 minutes. So thank you very much for the super chats. We will answer every single one of them. Please stop sending super chats. We're going to wrap this thing up in the next 15 minutes. Spencer Ducharme. $2 Canadian. South Carolina, probably. Best accent in the 50 states. Hilton Head, maybe. Gosh, I don't know what Hilton Head is.
I mean, we did pass through South Carolina on the stab.
My thing with South Carolina was just the welcome to South Carolina bit on I-95 or something like that, and just listening to the information lady just talk, and her voice sounded like fresh pancakes.
Oh.
Amazing. So yeah, why not go back to South Carolina? Carl Broom, thank you for $50, sir. Hi, first-time caller, long-time listener. I love the channel and everything y'all do to keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Carl. I am better off just torching my 01 Dakota? Yeah, with the LA-based 260, kind of, yeah. Or try and get any power out of it. Unless your plan is to just throw like the cheapest nitrous oxide system you can get from Summit Racing. If that's your plan, more power to you. But if not, no, shout out from Pittsburgh. Dude, you're driving an 01 Dodge truck in Pennsylvania. It's going to run out from under you.
Yeah.
Serious consideration to the Honda Ridgeline. Give one of those a drive. You may like it. What's an 01 Dakota worth? 1,008? Get what you can.
Drive what you must.
That's a good line. Get what you can and drive what you must. But, yeah, don't torch it. You can sell a truck all day, every day if the price is low enough. Well, do anything really, but 1,008 for something like that. I didn't even ask the mileage, and I just said 1,008. Shout out from Pittsburgh. Yeah, sorry I couldn't be out to Pittsburgh recently. I'll try to get out there. I think Justin Lose is having a party, but it may be just me. It all depends on the Falcon, or maybe I'll have my big road trip on the DR650. Jacob Shapiro, we see you from time to time. $1.99. I'll have 2 Numba 9s, etc.
Oh, he's doing the Big Smokes order from GTA San Andreas.
Oh.
I have 2 Numba 9s, a number 4 with extra dip, 4 number, like it just goes on.
Yeah. I think his car was based on a Chrysler New Yorker. No, wait, I'm sorry. That was Sweet's car. The Chrysler New Yorker. Smoke's car was some sort of station wagon.
Such a good game.
I played that like 3 times.
Yeah. And sometimes I would play him as a fat guy. Other times I would play CJ as like super fit. Other times he'd be like the Incredible Hulk. He'd just be buff and walking around. Great soundtrack. That was the game that introduced. I would listen to K-Rose a lot, and that they had like all these great country songs, like "All My Exes Live in Texas," and "Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys," and 3 Cigarettes in the Ashtray. Like great, those music curators don't get paid enough.
They don't. I haven't played any of the GTAs after that game.
Oh, they're great.
How do you feel about Ford dropping all the cars? It's a bold move. Let's see if it pays off. Also, thanks for all cars but the Mustang. I think they're trying to cut the fat, and I hope they didn't cut the muscle as well. You know, Ford is going to continue making cars for the European market, and they'll make their paper that way. The cars will come back, and when they come back, they'll have a marching band. It'll be like the Blue Devils or something. Obscure band nerd joke, but they'll come back with a big fanfare when they realize how much they let Hyundai have the market share. They laid out a big welcome carpet for Hyundai and Subaru.
XS Jimmy. Huh. I wonder if that's my Jimmy.
Also, thanks for reviewing my GTI and happy birthday, Nick Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimi. I think it is my Jimmy.
Oh,
so hey, Jimmy.
I hope you stuck around. That question was at 9:50 and it's now 10:20.
Yeah.
Just a shout out to Sam with the $2.99, no message, but wanted to support X. That's a kiss. Thank you so much. Just so you know, guys, we're wrapping up this podcast.
Yeah.
So hold off on the super chats. We will answer every single one of them. But I'm hungry.
We need to feed this man. He's had 2 G&Ts and now this is the part where
time.
Yeah, where all of a sudden, you know, diet goes out the window.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why like I drink way less now than I used to, because I know all that's going to happen is I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to stop at the gas station when I'm walking home from the bar, because there's one gas station and it's always open.
Sunoco?
I forget if it's a Sunoco or an A+.
Is it the one by the parking lot?
Yeah, it's like it's a Sunoco, I think.
They sell food in that place?
No, but they do sell like little, like you get like a bag of chips or something, or like something salty.
Yeah.
And or get like a Lunchable or something, and all of a sudden you're just hating yourself.
You know what I love though about the drunk walk that I don't really get anymore, because now I just get tired. But it's just throwing roses at the feet of 2004. What's that song going? I'm making my way downtown.
1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton.
Yes, that song. When you're like 4 beers deep, and you have in your head, I'm doing a great job at walking.
Yeah.
Like my expectations of life is 3 seconds from now, and you get that gas station hot dog, and it's like a hound diving into a trash can. He's on cloud 9.
Glorious. Oh, I won't give in. I won't give in. Just, yeah.
Hey guys, Rubicon Dave says, someone says SP Woolwell, it's a Sheets question. Mr. Regular, please get a burger. Like Sheets burgers are no.
Well, he didn't just say burger. Get a burger with mozzarella sticks
for the stoners who can't.
Yeah.
Like, look, because the Brick House is right nearby, that spoiled me on my. That raised the bar on burgers.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Sheets burrito because I know what I'm getting, and maybe I'll get mozzarella sticks. I mean, I'm getting a side, and it's gonna be ludicrous.
Yeah.
So
there used to be a burger that they discontinued that it was like a Southwest style burger, but they put like a fistful of nacho cheese Doritos on it to give it that crunch. I'm just like, okay, sure, I guess this is happening.
Rubicon Dave says, "Hey guys, here's something for the Glenfiddich and gas budget. Thank you very much,
Thank
Rubicon.
you so much.
I just wanted to say thanks for the channel. Loving the reviews and podcasts. Well, thanks, Rubicon. We love doing it. Go to Gennario's Pizza in Chicago. Best deep dish ever. You know, see, the thing is, I love Chicago, but I'm not really a fan of deep dish pizza.
Full disclosure, never had one before.
Oh man, now we gotta.
I mean, it's not for lack of. Well, actually, no, it is for lack
Maybe
of
you
trying.
could get a slice.
Can you? Is that like a possibility?
All right, we're taking a moment here, and I'm gonna have.
And while you're doing that, just to keep the super chat moving, for Workforce 520, thank you for $5.
Hey, Mike Steinberg, we're in the middle of doing a podcast right now. I'm drinking gin and tonic. Is it possible to get deep dish pizza and just get a slice? Nick has never gotten one before. And there's the podcast, gin and tonic. Deep dish pizza, slice only. Can you get it? Question mark. We got something next week. That's like a rambling thing.
Workforce.
If he responds, I'm gonna put my phone up to the mic.
Do it. Workforce 520. He offers $5 and just to thank us. Hey, glad I didn't miss it. Just got off work after spending all day in rental cars.
Ooh, bad times.
Yeah.
Unless your rental cars was Hyundai, because they're not that bad.
The Pacific Vista rental car that we got was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a Toyota Corolla. Workforce. Okay, we just did that.
Blades.
Blades. Again, Blades with $2. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks.
You guys still think about
Oh, it's about Resident Evil. Boo. Because he made a Nemesis reference earlier, and we still thought it was about Resident Evil, but I have no idea what it's about, so I don't know.
But thank you for $2.
Thank you for $2.
Yeah. Charles Hoffman. Sid Hoffman or Sid Frenchman? Homestar Runner reference. For a possible gift, can I get Mr. Regular to say 2004 Chrysler Pacifica, the official car of... in today's day and age, 2004 Chrysler Pacifica, the official car of buying your stroller at Goodwill. Like a double stroller with tiny wheels. Oh, Mike Steinberg.
Response.
Oh, Mike Steinberg responded, so we're going to play him on the chat. He responded again.
Twice.
So anyway, Chrysler Pacifica. See, the thing about the Pacifica is Dodge was Mopar was right on the very beginning. Like they are on a lot of things. They're straight out the gate with the crossovers. And I drove a Chrysler Pacifica, like, when my uncle Bill still owned County Chrysler before he sold to Dodge, Bob Outen. And I thought, this is a bizarre vehicle. It's a minivan, but it isn't. Nowadays, it's a family car for... Gosh, man. If there's a joke in this, I'm not that good of a humorist to find the joke of finally getting off welfare, and this is the car that drives you out of welfare. See, that's not a good joke, though, but... or it's a funny thing, but I see them. They're very affordable, and if you have kids and you need that vehicle that gets you through, it does it.
Yeah.
It isn't built that great, but it's mid-90s Dodge, so what are you going to do?
It's a modest tax rebate car, like, basically. More or less.
There it is. The official car of your first tax rebate.
Yeah.
Okay, what does Mike Steinberg have to say?
Let's hear it.
I do believe you can just get a slice, or you can get a personal size deep dish pizza. And I'm taking you to the best place for pizza in Chicago. Taking you to Illuminati's. It's a good Italian joint. So if I'm screaming right now, it's because I'm in the Corvette. It's a little bit loud. What do you want?
Mike Steinberg.
That is
nice.
Delightful.
Yes.
That's the most, like, Italian reply. And with a name like Steinberg, like... does he have a drop of Italian blood at all?
I don't know. He has two Trumps and they're both good. He has like on the campaign Trump and he has modern Trump, like the tired Trump. He has both of them and they're amazing.
I can't do either one.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike, for taking us. We stream that on the channel. Awesome. RCR Chicago next week. Can't wait for it. Anyway,
yeah,
got the Resident Evil question.
Yeah, and
Charles Hoffman, Pacifica question.
Gear
Gut says, forget RCR New Zealand. How can I not forget New Zealand?
Yeah.
Do 50 states RCR America, 3 to 5 cars per state. Wow, we were talking about like 8 years to do that. Cover all 50. That's 2 to 3 years of content, and most of them are New England because it's like tiny states.
Yeah.
You know, before RCR, I kind of was wondering what my legacy would be.
Yeah.
Like, what great thing am I going to do? Like, it's when I was still really hoping to be a teacher.
Yeah.
But I was realizing that it's going to be so hard to get a position somewhere.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe I could bet all of my chips on being an old man, like working into my 80s. If I could be a substitute teacher and substitute in all 50 states like a year
Yeah.
In all 50 states, I would be 5, 6. I would be 80 when I retired. Like 1 year in each state.
The substitute teachingest teacher of all time.
Yeah. And that would be my thing. And I remember thinking that in in the shower at home, but in my parents' house, like the master bedroom had a shower, and then there was another shower on the second floor that was Tim and myself.
Man.
So we considered that our shower, and then mom and dad's shower. Anyway, but like in my shower at home, that was just a long way to explain like why it was my shower at home. But wondering if that was going to be what thing I could do with my education.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I never even thought that far ahead, other than that as a kid, no matter what I was going to be when I grew up, I knew I was supposed to be famous for something. Like, that's all I knew. And that, like, no matter what happened, I would somehow stumble backwards into something. Now, I'm not saying I'm even a tiny little bit famous at all, but, like, I did stumble backwards into this. Like, you know, you know,
and
you were just like, hey,
Chef Allen's.
Yeah. You're like, hey, you want to write this thing with me? I'm like, oh, sure. Why not?
And we were all laughing, and Tim Strickler was there.
Yeah. Great.
And I remember saying all nonchalantly, "Oh yeah, we're at 5,000 subscribers now."
We were so proud.
Yeah. Workforce 520 says, speaking of teaching, guys, please stop sending super chats. We want to wrap this up for the night, but thank you for sending them, and we will get to them. Speaking of teaching, I'm in college going to be an elementary school teacher. Very good. I always wanted to. Very good. We need more elementary school teachers. Major was history, but change it to liberal studies for teaching. Well, yeah, if you're an elementary school teacher, you got to teach everything. Yeah. But look, can you do long division? Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Like, everything else is gulp and puke, and math is the hardest part.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, man. Get some good psychology courses in, and honestly, take a social work class, because what I didn't know about elementary school teaching is that a lot of it is dealing with parents. And we're on a podcast now. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to occasion, but dealing with shitbag parents. There needs to be like a Jordan Peterson podcast. Like, I want to do good in life, but my parents are assholes. Yeah. Like, what do I do if I'm in a nasty situation at home? Like an uneven, there's some meth floating around. There's a ne'er-do-well uncle. He's probably got an ankle bracelet on. Yeah. You know, you look up in the ceiling, and like there's the house once had a drop ceiling. There's the toilet that doesn't work. Yeah. There's the bathroom that the tiles are falling off. What do you do?
Yeah. And it's that type of thing of what are you supposed to say to a kid, you know?
My poop comes from my butt.
Thank you for $20.
Thank you. I just bought my first car, a 2008 Mazda 3. Good choice. Oh, living like a doctor. I kind of did. There's a Joey Diaz line, living like a doctor. What do you know that line from Joey Diaz, living like a doctor? Okay. He had an audition to play like some sort of like Italian slob thing. Yeah. But he knew that if he wanted to get the gig in this, whatever this movie or show, it was like a bit part to like wave to the actors, to be like the neighbor who's just like grilling outside. Yeah. It was supposed to be no lines. Like, the audition was to like wave and say hi. Yeah. But what he did was he went into the audition. Joey Diaz goes into the audition. And when they were looking at their notes, he took, this is when Joey Diaz is like 300 pounds. Yeah. He like takes off his shirt, drops his pants, and he's just there in his underwear. They look up, and he makes like he's grilling something, and then looks to them and says, "Living like a doctor." And he got the part.
Oh, of course. Like, after that, I mean, how could you not?
Living like a doctor at 17. So if that wasn't a Joey Diaz, if you're making a reference, my poop from comes my butt, it's amazing. I can't believe I didn't balls up and just buy like 2 tickets for us when he came to like the Helium Club in Philly.
He was in the Helium Club? When?
It was either right before or right after when we got back from New Zealand.
Huh. Hang on a second.
And now I know how to drive stick. What's the future of car culture once fully autonomous? It's not happening.
Not happening. Yeah.
Fully autonomous.
Not
no.
Or,
see, fully autonomous works if you have a working infrastructure and car and the lines on the road that are legitimately laid out. You come to Pennsylvania, our roads are fucked, man. You know, you drive down some of these roads, they have just the one line in the middle, and sometimes they don't even have that.
Yeah.
So the algorithm, it's good, but it's an assistant. Autonomous, they picked a bad word, and this is a Matt Farrell line, but they picked a bad word to describe autonomy. It's not. It's a very best an advanced cruise control with driver assist.
Yeah.
So.
Joey Diaz is going to be at Parks Casino in Philly on the 14th of September.
Parks Casino.
I've never heard of it. Yeah, it just says in Philly.
If it's in the greater Philadelphia area, that'd be easy to drive to.
Or you just get like a hotel and ride into the city.
Yeah.
Like on a thing.
Yeah, just get a lift.
But
in September.
Yeah, 14th.
That's an idea. We should go see Joey Diaz.
Yeah, go see Uncle Joey.
And now I know how to drive stick. What's the future of car culture once fully autonomous becomes standard? Like, first electric has to become standard. You don't have to worry about that. I don't think it's happening in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Porlello's beef and hot dog best.
Oh, Portillo's beef and hot dog is best. I guess that's like a Chicago thing, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. Let's see. Aiden Turner with a follow-up from almost an hour ago.
It has an OG engine and trans, but it has rust.
Yeah.
Gosh, what was that? Was he buying
I do not recall.
I think that was an S12 240SX. OG engine and trans, but it has rust. So now we get to talk about how much rust. Look, if you have like a Bruce Hen who can repair it, then great. And if not, maybe drive it until it dies.
Yeah.
Burgundy Burnout showing up again. $5. They just found a black
sarcophagus.
It's likely Alexander the Great, but my money is on the Doom Slayer. Fantastic.
And then the next one is Burgundy Burnouts.
They just found out a black. So nice. He donated twice. Thank you very much, Charles. Look in your email for me, please. Thank you very much for the super chat, but we are done with super chats. Thank you very much for that. We're wrapping this podcast up. Look in your email for me, please. I'm sorry I can't do that on air, but I will do it after this. Portillo's. Portillo's is
no, it is Portillo's. Portillos. You're right. Sorry about that.
Is for
suburbanites
who don't want to come into the city and get proper Italian beef.
Mm-hmm.
Like I trust in Mike Steinberg, wherever he's taking us. Either you've heard reading Platt Song McKeith or okay. Right. Workforce 520. First smashed into my Ion, only room for missionary. First smashed in my Ion, only room for missionary.
Nice.
Saturn Ion. That's got. I'm guessing you did that on a folded down passenger seat, like shotgun seat. Morty Callie says, come back to New Zealand. I am. It may just be me. I don't know.
Let's see. Aiden Turner, $2.
Again, Aiden Turner.
According to KBB, my E39 has a trade-in value of $45.
Nice. Hey, rock on, man. I say rock those miles all the way up on that E39. Have 400,000. Why not? Anonymous Moose. Go ahead.
Oh, $5. 119 days without rain. Rains for 2 days straight, and my grocery store burns down due to the storm. I think that's from, I was talking earlier about going to the grocery store in a thunderstorm.
What is up with places catching on fire in thunderstorms? Or like in like heavy rain, there's always that one house that burns down.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Schmidt, thank you for $5. It's time for the greatest question of our generation.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Are traps gay?
Gayy. I don't get it.
I don't understand.
I wish I
like trap music.
Traps
music
or like
gay?
physical traps. Like I'm working on my traps.
Like traps.
Yeah, like your trapezius.
I don't get it. Man.
Yeah, I don't get it. Sorry. But thank you for the $5.
But thank you for the $5, man.
Nope, $2. Do a Land Cruiser and an LX 570 one episode. Tell us
the difference.
Oh,
it'd be neat to do like comparison videos, and we have done it before, but with the USD MS13 and then the Corey Deist. Corey Deist is imported one. That's neat. And we have a video coming up that does have. It was one of these ones where the other car filmed that day. You weren't here for this, but the other car filmed that day was present, and it's very prominent in the background. And you kind of have to mention it.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that very prominent car first, and then do the other lesser, like visually distinctive car second. And we would have to compare them because both cars are from the same era. I think it's 87 or 88. But they look totally different. One looks like from 1972, and the one from the 80s looks like 1993. So one's an American car that looks like from the previous decade, and one's an 80s car that looks like a 90s car.
Weird.
Just to talk about what a weird time the 80s were.
Will Robertson.
If a car personified Tom Wolfe, which is the current governor of Pennsylvania, what would it be?
I have no loving idea.
Tom Wolfe in his glamour shots likes to look like a guy from New Hampshire with, like, you know, the baseball hat and the kind of Marmoth puffy outdoorsy vest.
Yeah.
That's like, look, if that vest is that insulating, why don't you have a jacket on?
Yeah.
Like how cool, like the really insulated vest combined with a short sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
Like how cold is your chest and how hot is your arms?
Yeah. It's the adult version of those Halloween costumes that come with the muscles. Like,
yeah. I mean, Tom Wolfe is doing his way to shove legal or to shove first medicinal marijuana. You know, that's the door, that's the wedge in the door to get it open. So I'm all for Tom Wolfe for that. And also Lieutenant Governor, the guy from Western PA. Can't remember his name. Or do we still have to vote for him?
I don't know.
Anyway, I think he's on the ticket.
Yeah.
Made in Bradley, Pennsylvania. Anyway, the super cool guy. Yeah. And
let's see.
So what would it be? See, Tom Wolfe means well, but most of Pennsylvania hates him because he's a Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
So what's a car that's good for you, but everybody hates anyway? See, I want to go Subaru on this, but
I was going to say like a Prius because it's, you know, supposed to be, good for the environment, but everyone hates it. I don't know.
A car that's more expensive than it needs to be. Why do I keep going to a Honda Ridgeline again? I don't
know, like a Windstar van or something.
Could be, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Ford Ranger. They are good, but everybody hates them because they're weak, and Tom Wolfe isn't a physically large man.
No.
So yeah, we'll go Ford Windstar or Ford Ranger.
Yeah. Let's see.
Grimely Emu.
Sorry.
Girlfriends in this travel have some. Oh, so Australian. So just an A is Australian.
Thank you.
Have some Aussie coin. RCR Australia someday.
Someday when I'm awfully low.
I'm heavy. I have a VQ35DE, makes 300 horsepower. What am I? I'm heavy, as in the heavy, the band. I have a VQ35DE, makes 300 horsepower. What am I? Oh, wait, you're a Nissan? Are you like a performance version of the Maxima? But I don't know. The Maxima GT, if they made that? I don't know, Camera Bird. I'm not sure. I would come to Chicago, but I have band camp, says Fedora. Like you're in band camp and you're wearing a fedora out on the parking lot or field. Nice. Don't talk back about my Ford Ranger. I love my baby. Nicest one. You'll see. Can't wait for the new one. Yeah, hopefully they make a new small Ranger. I have to pee soon.
Oh,
okay,
we can just
Alex.
rapid fire.
Well, I don't want to.
Well, some of these are just like support. Yeah. So like Sam E, thank you for the $2.99 Australian. No message, but wanted to support, so thank you. Alex Pelk, $5. Have you thought of guesting on other podcasts? The official podcast would suit you, hosted by Penguins Zero and his buddies, making masturbatory jokes. We do go on other podcasts sometimes. I've been on the Untitled Car Show, like we both have, like separately. We did like the Smoking Tire podcast. Would love to do just something random, like, or I'm not random, but like we'd love to go like big and go on like Rogan or Corolla or something. But we went on there was this one podcast that we went on that never got posted. Freddie Wong, I think, his podcast. And it was a video podcast, and it was back when we were hiding our identity, so we were wearing ski masks with like X's over in tape over our faces. Yeah, but I mean, we're always open to that type of thing, provided, we can make it work, which, with video, with technology being what it is, if we get the invite and maybe we can like increase our base, that'd be great.
The hard thing about doing other people's podcasts is like half of it, most of the time it's just Skyping in.
Yeah.
And that's it's hard to keep up the banter when you can't see the other people. And there's one that I agreed to, and I'm going to be Skyping in, but
yeah,
there's a thing about, hey, can you record your end and then send it to us? And I'm like, ugh.
That's not really a conversation then.
Like, I know, like while we're talking, and I know they want the good audio.
Yeah.
It's just extra work for me.
Yeah.
So you got Sam's, you got Alex.
Yeah. And now we're up to Cool Baller. Thank you for $10. Mac and Cheese Bites. Also, I have a full bolt on and tuned VTEX V6 Accord.
Cool.
6-speed coupe for review in Central North Carolina. Willing to discuss details. Enjoy the sheets run.
Thanks, man. Mac and Cheese Bites. I'm mac and cheese. Kind of feeling that. Yeah. I think that's going to be a sheets burrito and mac and cheese bites. Cool Baller, I'm going to use your money to go buy sheets.
John,
enjoyed the sheets run. Willing to discuss details? Well, easy. Just year, make, model, city, state with a phone number in the body of the email. Send to regularcars@gmail.com. Hobo, we're wrapping up this podcast here. Hobo Jericho, thanks. We'll get to your question, but please, for everybody else, no more super chats because we're wrapping this up for the night. John Ganaris, $2, says, any way to send you hooch for regular beer reviews? Unfortunately, it is illegal to send alcohol through the mail in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
You could send someone money with a list attached of here, buy these beers. And that's one way to send beer. It's because you're not sending beer, you're sending money and a recommendation for beers.
Yeah,
but even then, it's still like,
you can vaguely skirt the rules in the Commonwealth by saying this is cooking wine. So people in wine clubs, that's kind of how they get around it. Cooking wine is legal to do, but hooch, sending beer through the mail, it's a no-no. I mean, it's for Pennsylvania and their blue laws. You join those beer lists, they can't do it. Yeah. And he sends another one.
He said it was just a shit post anyway.
Claudio had $2 on Mad with Power.
Yeah.
What's no Claudio from?
Claudio is someone from the chat earlier, and he's responding by like sending money. I don't know. It was some So John,
I have a bad habit, and I like to chew limes.
No, nothing wrong with that.
It hurts, but why do I keep doing it?
John Candycorn, $5. If y'all do an RCR Vegas, I defy you not to go dressed up as Raoul Duke and Dr. Gonzo.
Been done. Not gonna do that. I'm sure there's a lot of people rolling around Vegas, a lot of douchebags who never read Fear and Loathing on the Campaign Trail, which is the better one, and they see that movie and they go on Instagram and like steal his look and find the things to order on Amazon.
Yeah.
The shirt, the hat, the cigarette holder, and then they find a guy who's 20 pounds overweight to be Dr. Gonzo. But what you really need is a 1971 I think it's a Chevy Malibu convertible for the car. Although I have cosplayed on campus on Halloween Day in class as Hunter S. Thompson, and people didn't like it because they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Some people got it.
Charles Hoffman, thank you for $2.01. Oh, this is a look in your email for me, please.
Yeah.
We can't do that on air, but we'll do it later.
We'll do it later.
Cajun Y, $2. Thank you so much. Fruit Loops or Lucky Charms?
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Yeah. Look, how can you deny with marshmallow pieces?
Yeah. Hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers, and full moons. That's a golden rainbow, and me red balloons.
Yeah.
But yeah. Explanoit. $4.99. Thank you so much. Thoughts on 2012 Accord EXL with nav compared to modern luxury? I love it and think new cars have terrible, slow user interfaces. Thanks for the videos.
Well, they do, because your phone is better. Like, I think at this point, cars should just get rid of that we should go back to the early 2000s. Look, your phone's going to do everything. Just put a spot in there for you to mount your freaking, gigantic Samsung.
Yeah.
Yours isn't that big.
Oh. Actually, that's what she said.
Oh.
Look at me. No.
Actually, yeah. Compared to an iPhone 3 or an iPhone 5, yeah, that's Samsung. That's got a screen on it.
To John Candycorn, he said, "Let me raise the stakes, shave your head for the cosplay." And my friend Mike actually did that. He was Raoul Duke, came up to State College to visit me for Halloween, had the head shaved. He had to actually sign a document from his barber saying that, like, I will not sue you for I asked you to do this.
Oh, really?
To me. Yeah.
Well, how do you really have to pay or did he want him to bick it down perfectly?
Yeah.
Wait, you can do that. You can just go, because I shaved my head in 2007.
I think he just wanted it done right, I guess. Okay. I don't know, because there's a way that I don't know. With me, I always go to a barber for a shave because otherwise I'm just gonna cut myself up. And yeah, it doesn't help that I already have the complexion of a 15-year-old boy, so razor bumps aren't exactly gonna help. But if you get someone with a real knowledge of it, because my guys are like Rembrandt, they get in there and they're like, it's the art. I need to go back too. And then final question
for the night.
Hobo Jericho, $11.11. Thank you so much.
How do you stay motivated working on a classic? I suppose it means classic cars. I have a 1969 Cadillac Eldorado. Nice. And it makes me grin to drive, but finding parts and budget to get it respectable is so hard. Yeah, well, I think, the 70s was when, I believe, according to Justin Kramer, when General Motors started consolidating all their parts. So in the 60s, I guess Cadillac parts would be Cadillac parts, Chevy parts would be Chevy parts, Buick parts would be Buick parts. And it's not that it was the same part with different part numbers. They were legitimately different shaped parts. And even Buick had their own engines. Like what that Oldsmobile Super 88 once had. Of course, when we reviewed it in Raleigh, it had a Chevy 350. And it makes me grin to drive. Do you have any doubts about your build? If I would go back with, gosh darn it, it would have an LS. It would solve a lot of problems. But I'm glad that I have a traditional resto mod, and it is nice that I have a classic car that has no electronics in it, save for, I guess, the modern distributor and then the head unit, but that's just so my phone can plug in and play. Other than that, it's just there's no ECU, there's nothing in that car.
There's nothing.
It's an old school resto. So how do you stay motivated? Well, yeah, you're in a bit of a pickle, Hobo, because you have a car that Summit Racing doesn't cover, which means you're in the junkyards. What you're going to have to do is either get on Angie's list or get on or find some builder in the area who knows how to source parts better. So you're going to have to find a guy. That's my advice. But if you're motivated working on yourself, I say listen to some motivated videos or watch some roadkill, because the great thing about classic cars like your 69 Eldorado is it may break, but it's never broken. People saying we should come to Argentina. My Eldorado has the 472. That's a big engine, man.
Yeah, it is.
Damn, that is not common. That's even kind of worse than like the Cadillac 500, because people like them because that was the biggest. Mr. Regular, have you ever been to the only town in Pennsylvania, Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania? You know, I almost went to Bloomsburg instead of Kutztown University, but
wow.
I've been to Bloom a few times, yeah. Nice town. Garrett Buck says, I suggest going to a machine shop for parts. Maybe those guys would have the thing. So, well, that is a night. It is 11 p.m. or almost, and I am going to go for some late. Well, he's going to drive me to Sheets. I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good
nothing
night.
wrong with that. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And it has been a good night. Thank you for joining us on this podcast. Well, the super chat portion of it.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch the us chatting portion of the podcast by going back to our main page, and you'll see it on Shout Engine later. I guess I can do that now while you get ready.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
Talk to you later.
Have a very good night. I gotta go to OBS. Open Broadcaster.